Mr. Toastmaster. Grant's speech tonight is all about inspiration. The speaker is to inspire the audience to improve personally, emotionally, professionally, spiritually, and he's to rely heavily on the emotional appeal. He should appeal to noble motives and challenge the audience to achieve a higher level of beliefs or achievement. He is to use skills learned in previous projects and not use notes. And in addition to this, I will be completing an evaluation form where I am to look at the relevance of the topic, understanding as well as the forcefulness of his speech. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Sam. Ladies and gentlemen, a new member to this evening's forum meeting. You arrived half an hour ago. Would you please welcome, presenting to the subject, we dodged the bullet, what now? We dodged the bullet, what now? Please welcome Grant McIntosh.
Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters and guests, we dodged a bullet. I want to take you back 18 months ago, little more, maybe 2 years, and the situation our country found itself in. But really, was it all about Zuma? Really, was it all about one man? Or was it about all of us? Yes, as a leader, he sure has a lot to answer for. A leader, as we've heard, sets the tone, sets the environment where we all participate, and obviously carries huge power, but with that accountability and responsibility. I often have to speak to my daughter or my wife when they come up with one reason why something's wrong. It couldn't have just been one reason. It couldn't have just been him. Yes, we're in the context of the world. The world's been having problems. Just look at the last 18 months. Look at what's happening in America with Trump. And he's almost finished his term. He comes up for another go at re-election next year. Look at what's happened in the EU. Look what's happened in almost any country in the world. And you realize we are in a state of transition. I'm speaking to you tonight because of my own turmoil, my own thoughts regarding all of this. I've been wondering, how long do I sit on the side for? Or do I get involved myself? How long will it take me to come to a point when I say, well, it's now that I have to be committed? And I think of Henry Ford's quote, you right or you wrong, it's basically up to you. That's the gist of it. And we have to decide, because what we do will determine what the outcome is in South Africa. We sit with a very complex situation. On the one side, people have been left behind. They've suffered. On the other side, we need to make things happen. Basically, you could say investment and the economy and fairness and progress of people, right down to the lowest level, the people who've been neglected. Unfortunately, it's a balancing act, and a balancing act requires judgment. And that is where the complexity really comes in. Life is easy if it's just a calculation. Even big calculations are easy. But when you're dealing with things that are not cut and dried, where you can't put a number to everything, it becomes more difficult. We've seen how the last 10 years have had impacts, for instance, on the mining industry, where it's been totally decimated. We've had bad policy. That policy was supposed to lead to people who were left behind being pulled forward. However, those people weren't pulled forward by that policy. What did it do? It actually killed the economy. What is the economy? Employment, opportunities, jobs. So it's very important to remember this balance. We can't have one without the other. Critical that we engage. In my situation, I've had to now say, I must engage. And this is where I come to, how do you engage? How do you make a difference? All of us can make a difference. The important thing is it starts with ourselves, you and me. How do you start? Starting is not about talking, it's about actions. So what are you going to do? And I think the main thing is to make yourself stronger, build yourself, so that you can pull others along with you. That is the whole spirit we should have in South Africa. We've got to pull others along, but we've still got to be strong and build ourselves to be able to pull others along. However, no one should be forgotten. So I have looked around, and my experience has shown me that Toastmasters is a perfect microcosm for what should happen. If you look at the faces around you here, people who are starting out in their journey, people who are further along in their journey, and then those who've been here, you might even think have never, well, since the beginning of time. We owe those around us our service to them. And you can see it in what this club has done. Older members, more experienced members, sometimes younger, more experienced members, encouraging and developing those around them. So today, I want to say to you, you are the difference. You make the difference. Fellow Toastmasters and guests.